Emily Harper had always been a quiet soul, the kind of girl who kept her head down and let the world move around her. On her family's farm, she rose before dawn, fed the chickens, milked the cows, and watched the horizon glow with the promise of another day. Her life wasn't glamorous, but it was honest, and that honesty gave her strength. Still, in the small town nearby, people didn't always see her heart. To them, Emily was just the farm girl, simple, someone to tease when boredom set in. High school had been the worst. The same group of boys who strutted through the hallways like kings of the world had never let her live in peace. They mocked her muddy boots, laughed at the lunches she packed from home, called her names that still stung years later. She never fought back, she just endured. That endurance was mistaken for weakness. Years later, Emily thought she'd left those days behind. She married Jack Harper, a man with a quiet strength of his own. To the outside world, he was just another farmhand, tall and broad-shouldered, with a calm voice and steady hands. But Emily knew the truth. He was a veteran of the elite Delta Force. He rarely spoke about what he had seen overseas, but his eyes carried the weight of it. To Emily, he wasn't a soldier. He was her protector, her anchor, the man who made her feel safe in a world that had once been so cruel. One autumn evening, as the sky blushed pink with sunset, Emily drove into town to pick up supplies. The old faces were still there, those same boys, now grown men, but unchanged in their arrogance. They spotted her outside the hardware store. Well, if it isn't farm girl Emily, one sneered, his voice dripping with the same poison she remembered. She tried to ignore them, clutching her bag, heading for her truck, but they followed, circling her like wolves who had caught the scent of fear, still wearing those country boots. Still too quiet to stand up for yourself, another mocked. Emily's heart raced, but she held her ground. I don't want any trouble, she whispered. But trouble wanted her. With a shove, they pushed her off the sidewalk, guiding her into the woods behind the store. She tried to scream, but one of them covered her mouth. Within minutes, she was tied to a tree, her arms bound tightly, her breath coming in shallow gasps. The old pain came rushing back. The helplessness, the shame, the echo of high school hallways filled with laughter at her expense. She thought she had outgrown this, but here she was again, at their mercy. Let's see if the farm girl's husband comes running. One of them chuckled cruelly. The words struck something deep inside her. Jack, her Jack. He didn't know she was in danger. She twisted her wrist just enough to slip one hand closer to her pocket. Her phone was still there. With shaking fingers, she pressed the screen, hit one contact. The only one that mattered. Emily. His voice came through instantly, calm but edged with steel. Where are you? She couldn't answer, not fully. The bullies were too close. But she whispered through her tears, Jack, they tied me. And then the line went silent for a moment. When Jack spoke again, his voice was lower, colder, filled with a promise. Hold on, Em. I'm coming. Jack Harper was already in his truck before the call had even ended. The farm roads blurred past as his mind sharpened into the state he knew all too well. The same state that had kept him alive in deserts and mountains halfway across the world. He wasn't just driving to save his wife, he was on a mission. And no one touched his family. Back in the woods, Emily's tears turned into quiet strength. She wasn't the same girl she had been in high school. She was Jack's wife now, and she believed in him. Still, fear coiled in her stomach as the bullies taunted her. You think your husband's gonna find you out here? He's probably just another farmhand like you, weak. Hopeless. Emily shook her head, her voice steady even as her wrists bled from the rope. You don't know him. Minutes later, headlights cut through the trees. The bullies exchanged nervous looks. Jack's truck roared down the dirt path, stopping with a spray of gravel. The door slammed and silence fell over the woods. Jack stepped out, not rushing, not panicked. Calm, controlled, dangerous. His eyes scanned the scene in a second. Emily tied to the tree. The ropes cutting her skin, 4 men circling like predators. His heart burned, but his face gave nothing away. Auntie her. Jack said, his voice low, carrying across the clearing like a command. The bullies laughed nervously. And if we don't, one smirked, trying to sound brave. Jack stepped closer, his boots crunching on leaves. Then you'll wish you had. The next moments happened too fast for them to process. One man lunged forward, swinging, but Jack moved with the precision of years of training. A sidestep, a strike to the ribs, a sweep of the leg. The bully hit the ground, gasping for air. Another rushed in, but Jack caught his arm, twisted, and dropped him to his knees with a controlled force that sent pain shooting through his body. Emily watched, her heart pounding, not out of fear but awe. She had seen Jack's gentleness every day. How he held her, how he spoke with patience, how he loved her quietly. But here she saw the other side of him. The warrior, the protector. The man who had promised to keep her safe no matter